I feel like you need a theme tune, Josh, you know?
You know what? I feel like I do as well.
I think we found one.
Someone had better get on that.
Yeah, I think I better sort that.
So, everyone, welcome to the Radioactive Screen podcast, in which we talk all films, film and TV. So, Sam couldn't be here this week. So, this week we have a couple of special guests.
Hey.
You're right.
That guy you hear doing the terrible theme tune is Mr. Young Sceptic,
Terrible person.
also known as Rob.
How you doing, mate? You all right?
Not too bad, thanks. Not too bad. And I'm also joined here by Josh. No, not me. JC.
Another Josh. How you doing, bro?
The one and only Black Josh.
Here's the one and only.
The one and only JC.
I definitely can't use that.
You definitely just did that, didn't you?
Definitely
The
can't.
power of editing.
I mean, I'm definitely using it. So, we've got these guys on here this week, and we've got a bit of an interesting one for you, because Mr. Sceptic himself has a bit of a list that he's got ready for us, don't you?
I've been compiling this list for like 5 years now. 439 films long. So we're going to take you through from 1 to 439, is that right?
439 to 1.
Skip a few.
Yeah, we might skip a couple.
So basically, this is me reading a list for an hour.
Yeah.
439, we have.
So what do we have at 439?
To be honest with you, it's a bit deep, but 50 Shades Darker.
Ooh,
I just
surprised you even watched that.
I just, it
that even made
just
the list?
doesn't do it for me, you know?
Just doesn't do it.
It
Nah.
just doesn't.
Just end the list on 438.
Just watch porn instead.
Well, that's my advice to everyone, to be honest.
Have you seen any of those films?
I've seen 50 Shades of Grey. It was weird. It was like lip biting for an hour and a half.
Yeah,
I think that's it. It just wasn't my kink, you know?
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was odd.
I mean, gimp masks.
It's
no,
like
let's
in
do it.
between. You'd rather it be like a little less teasy or like just fucking full on. Like,
Well, the thing with 50 Shades of Grey is that it was meant to be R-rated, but it felt like PG porn.
yeah.
Which, have you ever actually seen that series?
No.
James Gunn, before he did anything
Oh, James Gunn.
Like-
Yeah.
out there. But yeah, he got a load of porn stars, and they basically ran through like porn stories. But it turns out it wasn't actually porn. So like the plumber had come round to fix her pipes, and they'd have all the porn dialogue, but it wasn't.
Yeah.
It wasn't a porno.
It was just a drama.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
was just a really poorly written drama.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. But it was really good. And filmed with actual porn stars as well.
Oh god. I mean,
I'm talking way too much about porn in this episode.
I mean,
So, Josh, have you actually seen any 50 Shades?
no. I might have seen maybe half an hour of the first one, and I like the actors like Jamie Dornan. What's the name of the girl? I can't remember. She's been in other good stuff, and he's in some decent stuff. So I kind of just not for me.
You'll sort of be pleased to know that 50 Shades of Grey does rank a lot higher. Not much higher. So it's probably about 390th.
Why would I be happy to know
You
that?
know, I'm just saying, you know, you like the actors, you know.
Like, the actors are good.
And the first
Terrible
one,
film.
it sort of had a storyline to it. Sort of.
Just makes me sad that they're so successful.
It was just a game of how much can we get away with. Like, even when you're watching it, you're just like, this is people just trying to get away with as much as possible on screen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't remember the film. There was a film where like this lady displayed, I think it was Breakfast at Tiffany's. She got like, there was a bit of side boob for like the first time ever in a film.
Yeah.
And everyone was like, whoa. And now it's like,
Let's have two people pretend fucking.
Everybody's
Yeah,
just
exactly.
desensitized. Yeah.
so it's kind of got a bit mad. Breakfast at Tiffany's rated a lot higher, but it wasn't for the reason of side boob.
It wasn't.
No.
Ah.
That film is well overrated, by the way, as well. Like,
I like it.
I don't know.
It's just one of those films that you see once and you're just like, yeah.
Good film, but even better song.
Moon Drifter.
Breakfast at
Ah.
Tiffany's. Wait, what did
My
you
bad.
think I was singing?
I was on about
Moon River, bloody
Moon
hell.
River. What was her name? What was that woman? Audrey Hepburn. Yeah. Sick song. It was in the Galaxy chocolate advert as well. Other chocolate bars are available, but it was they rejazzed it as a cartoon. It was good. Great.
Fuck me, you're special.
Great times.
Right, what's 438?
Do you really want me to do this?
Top dog.
Top dog.
Well, it's all right. We won't be going through the actual full list, but top dog.
Just to give you an idea of like the bottom
I've heard
5. So these are terrible films. Don't watch them. One Night in Istanbul. Now, I love Liverpool's triumph, the fact that they won the Champions League in 2005 and all that good stuff.
Is that what it's about then?
Yes, they made this like film about 2 guys who somehow get arrested and then they end up making it out for the final for the second half and stuff like that. Not great. Pride and Prejudice zombies.
I thought that would go higher up, actually. I never watched it, but
it had a lot of hypes around it.
Yeah, people liked it.
It was
just because a bit different, I guess.
Like...
Any good?
Nah. And then Time Traveller. Time Traveller is a weird film. Couldn't quite get my head around it. He goes back in time and ends up fancying a girl, and it just doesn't work. It just doesn't work. So sorry, but they're my bottom 5.
Is that so? He goes back in time and fancies a girl.
Like who was?
It's basically Back to the Future.
Yeah, like
But
every single time travel film.
The
Almost
girl that he
fucks
like
his mum.
bumps into is like, it's strange. Is like a kid at the time, and then obviously when they go forward in the future, she's an adult. So it's a bit like, ooh, I don't know.
No.
I feel like time travel films need a revamp, man.
I know. Do you know what? A good time travel film that's in the top 100.
So there are a few good ones.
Yeah, classics.
About Time.
Looper. About Time was good as well.
Yeah, Ryan Johnson before he ruined Star Wars.
Let's not get onto that.
Okay, yeah, we won't.
I think me and Sam have covered that a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. God.
Yeah, Loop is good. Obviously, Back to the Future.
I mean,
probably in the top 5 for me.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Nice. Endgame.
Never seen Endgame. Oh, Endgame.
Avengers Endgame.
Oh yes.
Man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't even think about it as a time travel film, but yeah, it really is.
It is, isn't it? Yeah. But what is your top 5? Would you say?
No particular order, but I can just give you 5 films that I would go to. Maybe like 7. I really, really like Brad Pitt.
That's
in that
a great film.
Morgan Freeman, great combination, and obviously,
did you hear about the sequel that they had planned for it?
What?
No? Was it called 6?
It was going to be called 8, but it was going to be Morgan Freeman's character, but he has like supernatural abilities.
That sounds like a Hollywood
Sometimes
exec.
things are best left, and I think 7 was best just left as it was.
Yeah.
Brilliant film. It's at 99 on my list.
Oh, okay,
So
nice.
it's right.
I
in
mean,
there.
anything David Fincher, man. I really love David Fincher. Fight Club.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's such a great director. Gone Girl.
Yeah,
as well.
That was a fantastic film in top 100.
Yeah.
So honestly, he's a good director.
Yeah.
Like, Gone Girl's such a good film as well. Like, it's so underrated.
Yeah, really good. Rosamund Pike is amazing in that film.
But the 7 sequel, obviously they scrapped it because it's a stupid idea.
Yeah.
But they retooled the script and used it in an Anthony Hopkins film that came out a few years back. Got terrible reviews and made no money at the box office.
See, Anthony Hopkins does some really low-key trash films just to make a bit of dollar. But he generally... I feel like he makes those smaller films. He only really... I mean, I watched that film that came out this year, Two Popes, on Netflix.
Oh, yeah.
That's decent. But I really like him. I watched all of Westworld, so I'm a big fan, but I've never heard of that film. He does, I don't know, I feel like he does some shitty films every now and then.
Mate, the knowledge coming out of you two right now. I'm sat back, I'm just getting an education. I'm sat here going, I like films.
I think it's Anthony Hopkins anyway. I can't be too sure.
You're probably right, man. Probably right.
Yeah.
What would you say your top... Give us a couple films that you would go to.
Some of my most favourite films would have to be Alien.
Oh, yeah.
As you can probably see by all the alien pops
the whole quadrilogy.
In my room. No. Alien and Aliens, yes.
Okay, yeah.
Alien 3, it's grown on me a little bit.
That's the one where they're in the weird prison, right?
In the space prison, yeah. It's
I love that.
it's not a good film. And speaking of David Fincher,
Yeah,
he directed it.
He doesn't claim that though. Like
Ooh.
he'll like he refutes that as
Does
one of
it?
his
Yeah.
films.
Well, it was another classic case of like the studio execs getting involved and wanting
Yeah.
to be their film, because it went through about 12 different script rewrites and stuff.
Yeah.
And there was one where it was meant to be on like a prison, but it was made out of wood. So obviously the xenomorph's blood
Yeah.
is
Just acid.
acidic, yeah.
Yeah.
So it just went through the whole prison. I think they retooled it and did it as a comic book a couple of years back as well. Yeah, I think I need to pick that up actually.
There's so many things that they can do with that franchise. I really like the new ones.
Prometheus
was really good. Covenant, I really like that.
Yeah, like I don't think Prometheus I'd class as an alien film for the most part.
Yeah, I guess you can. There really aren't any xenomorphs in it.
And they kind of forgot that Alien is meant to be a horror.
Yeah,
it was just science fiction, which I really enjoy because science fiction is probably one of my favourite genres. But
it just didn't feel like an alien film.
Yeah, but Covenant feels like an alien film through and through.
Yeah.
Because they really delve into the horror side of things.
Yeah, I think Ridley got that. I enjoyed Prometheus for what it did, and like really like Idris Elba in that film.
I love Idris Elba. That's what I have to say about that. Like, I've never seen any of them films. Like, to be honest, it sounds good. Sounds like it's worth a watch. I have an issue with films that I can't imagine happening in real life. That does cloud my judgment when it comes to my top 100. I'm not gonna lie.
I don't understand this. Like, films are meant to be escapism.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
I
but
can understand.
There's like that realistic element. Like, I can just escape in a film that's about reality. So, for example, for me, I'm fascinated by, for example, war films, things that actually happened. That again is escapism because you go into something that you could have never imagined happening in real life, and they're bringing that to life for you, and you're going, wow, like this actually happened, it's affecting people. So my historic films rate highly, and things that like touch a nerve, like that are passionate to me, so like films about music, films about dancing, I'll be honest, like they're right up there for me because I can escape. And
yeah, you have that emotional connection.
Yeah, exactly. Whereas like with like aliens and bits and bats, like
Bits and Bats.
I sort of I get it. It's coming out next Tuesday, guys. No, I can appreciate it. So, like for example, Harry Potter. Sorry,
Harvey. Good old Harvey.
Like that. I'm going through them at the minute, and I'm kind of like, yeah, it's got that human element, so I'll fight a dragon. But do you know what I mean? Like, it has to have something that connects for me that I can think, yeah, all right, I could possibly do that, or I could possibly see myself being there or whatever. So yeah, like I totally disagree with the statement that like for, you know what I mean? Like
I think I see where you're coming from. Like I agree with you in that like you probably enjoy more grounded films and in like a more reality, like more like you said, war films or like a thriller or something like that. Like something, even you can go to a horror film and still feel like you're escaping, like a Seven almost is a horror.
I feel like the film that sort of like captivates my mind the most was like About Time, because like for me, obviously that's in my top 100, not my top 10 or anything, but it was just the idea that like I could just imagine what it would be like to go back in time and change circumstances and how that would have a knock-on effect, and it was all really clever. And my brain was there going, oh, but you know, like if I did this or if I did that, and it was really relatable. I think I've got a really overactive mind, and I have to take things literally as well.
So did you do the classic thing of, what if I went back in time and killed Hitler?
No, I didn't go that far. No, I was like, if I went back in time and
like
washed up.
Sort of Family Guy.
Did you see that recent? They did a similar thing on Rick and Morty.
Did
the
they?
new season, but
I've not seen the new season yet.
Yeah, I won't go into it just in case. because it is new. And I don't want to spoil anything, but yeah, time travel on that.
It's one of them, like, everything would have a knock-on effect. I didn't go as deep as that. I was literally thinking about, like, if I went back to when I was 6, I'd tell myself not to touch that electric fence or something like that.
Yeah.
that was a sad day.
I think that really is escapism. Like, just thinking back and making small changes. It sort of just puts you in a different perspective.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I might have to write a time travel film on it now.
I feel like
Please include the electric fence.
I feel like it's so hard to just even start.
Include the electric fence.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do it. That's the day Rob found out his fetish.
Buzzing like a fridge.
Absolutely buzzing, mate.
That is the best explanation I've ever heard. Buzzing like a fridge.
Yeah, that's it, really.
So to go back to some of my favourite films, I'd probably say Terminator 2 is one of the greatest action films of all time.
Yeah, T2.
Not seen it yet. Got to get around to that.
That's another time travel film as well, actually, because he gets sent back in time to stop the leader of the future resistance.
Yeah, I think one thing about time travel in those films is that it's not really like the main point. You know what I mean? It's just this. It's one of the aspects of the films, but I feel like it's a side piece where you enjoy the action as well as like understand the time travel between the films.
Oh yeah,
and I feel like they ruined that with the newer films, and they went overboard with the time travel.
I was gonna say, like, with these newer films, they've completely fucked the timeline.
Yeah,
like none of it makes sense anymore. Did you see Dark Fate?
No, but the other day I watched some clips of it, and I heard that the opening scene was decent, with the sort of going back to the beginning with the Terminators, like there's a scene them coming at the ocean or something like that.
The opening scene was decent, but it also made me go, for fuck's sake.
Yes, I saw Arnie, like well CGI'd Arnie, looked decent, killing
John Connor. Yeah.
They all looked good. I mean, they're all de-aged, man. It's crazy how much de-aging people are doing these days.
Yeah.
But yeah, that did shock me.
Is it just me or like, because for me, the first Terminator is very low on my list. Like, I didn't enjoy it at all.
Really?
I like Terminator, yeah.
I just felt like it was a bit like it is true that Arnie always has to explain everything he's doing. So it's like, I'm in the shop.
Get to the job.
I'm buying groceries. Get down. It's like
getting my basket.
For me, if you're having to explain what you're doing and your acting's not working, like, I'm not being harsh, but I just think, like, if that happened in, for example, 1917, which came like 4th on my list.
Wait, I wouldn't say he explains what he does in his films.
I feel like the Terminator, there was just a lot of like,
character. I'm making a sandwich.
He isn't a human.
Get me the butter.
He isn't really a human in that film, so I guess you can kind of
like get away with it.
Yeah, you can get away with it in that,
Yeah,
and that's not really how he acts in other films, like Kindergarten Cop.
I feel like I've judged him early because that's all.
Put the cookie down,
please.
I apologise to my neighbour.
Other cookies are available. No, but seriously, like, maybe I just haven't given him enough of a chance. But I do just feel like, I don't know, Terminator was, everyone's like, yeah, watch it, and I watched it. I was like, pfft.
He's done some quiet films, man. He's done some quiet films.
I'd say he's very good, but he is in line with a B-movie actor, kind of like Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Yeah.
Or Steven Seagal.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got that kind of thing about him. Like when he was in Expendables 2, and he was just like, I'm back.
Yeah, it's just
like very tongue-in-cheek, and
it's literally cheese. And it's good. You just have to,
good, yeah.
You just take it for what it is and enjoy
like
it.
Sylvester Stallone, really. Like, he's in the same bracket for me. And the fact that, like, with all due respect to him,
I feel like Stallone's a little bit higher.
Well, in the first Rocky, if he said Adrian one more time, I was going to kick off. I was like, Adrian! Adrian!
Yeah, dude.
Like, literally, like, in 100 movie quotes, number one would just be Adrian for me.
I respect.
Huge success story, though.
Yeah, it was good. I respect
Stallone.
the journey.
I mean, writing Rocky himself.
In the back
when
of his
he was
car.
living in his car.
Yeah.
I've got
you gotta
huge
put some
respect
respect on his name.
And the fact that, like, he took the huge gamble of going, like, to be honest with you, 99 out of 100 people would have just sold that script and taken the money given the situation. But he was like, look, I'm not selling you a script unless I play the character.
Yeah.
And to do that when you're living in the back of your car must take a lot of like guts.
Yeah, you got to believe in
It's
yourself.
a huge gamble.
Yeah.
Like, for example...
I mean, he was doing porn at the time as well.
Was he actually?
He did porn before he became a proper actor.
Shit. Porn facts from Josh.
He's absolutely on it.
Yeah.
I'm on it with the porn facts. This is weird.
I mean, it's all film facts, right? It's all film.
Yeah,
I'm just
exactly.
a deviant. But no one knows it because all they do is hear my voice.
Yeah, they're never going to see you in the street.
I feel like we need...
ASMR masturbation.
No. I feel like we need... What's that
You
lady
choked
off
up there,
Countdown with the dictionary? You said a big word then, and I was like, over to Dictionary Corner. But yeah, no, Sylvester Stallone's all right.
Yeah,
I mean, yeah.
I'd say he's got...
I like the Rocky films. You like the Rocky films?
Yeah. I really enjoy the Rocky films. I've not really watched much of his other stuff because a lot of it is like B-movie fare.
Yeah.
And as much as I love B-movies, and one of my plans for this podcast is to review B-movies,
Yeah.
if I'm honest.
Movies
I
about
mean-
bees?
Those
Yes,
action films.
that one called B-movie.
That is a sick film. Has anyone seen that, by the way?
Yeah, man.
Mate.
And The Wicker Man. Not for bees!
Oh, The Wicker Man. Yes.
Not for bees!
Nick Cage. Classic.
You say classic.
I mean, Nick Cage is a classic actor.
You say classic. Oh, Nick Cage. I don't know whether he's a great actor or a terrible actor.
It's like, I think I can put...
It's like
Nick
that question in Community. Nick Cage, good or bad? Don't watch too many Nick Cage films. Otherwise...
Yeah,
I'm a cat. I'm a sexy cat.
Who is this Nick Cage?
You never
Like,
heard
what other stuff's he been in?
Connor.
Has he been? Is he the guy in American Beauty?
Face Off. Have you not seen
Oh,
Face Off?
Face Off's brilliant. Yeah, all right, fair.
That's
I know
Kevin
who he is.
Spacey.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah, well, back to another film that I probably consider. Now you mentioned Kevin Spacey. I know it's different now, but love Usual Suspects. One of my favorite films.
Yeah. Mate, the twist at the end of that is unbelievable.
Yeah, no spoilers.
Like, for
I mean,
anyone
it's
who's
been
not
out
seen
for
it.
over 20 years, so it's fine.
At
I'm
the
just
end,
being
right? No, but seriously, the twist at the end of that always gets me. Like, I had, believe it or not, I did something sophisticated once.
Oh, really?
What?
And I had a dinner party.
Moment of silence.
And after the dinner party, basically, we had a takeaway pizza, and that was great.
Yeah.
And after that, we put this Unusual Suspects on, and I'm waiting like an hour and a bit, and I'm thinking I'm losing it a little bit here. Like, I'm losing momentum with this film. And then just at the end, that 3 minutes of film alone was worth like a top 100 spot.
Yeah.
You
Where
thought-
is it on your list?
Good question. It's high.
Wait a sec, you were losing momentum with it.
Yeah.
I think all the way through that is just an exceptional film.
I mean,
It's 26th on
I
the
literally
list.
watch that lineup scene at least once a month. Like, I love that
It is
scene.
good.
Yeah.
It is. That,
I love that
for it to
scene
come
so much.
26th, it's big. It's big.
26th?
Yeah.
Nice.
I mean, there's some really good actors in there. Benicio del Toro. What's his name? Adam Baldwin. Yeah, Adam Baldwin.
It's the
And then obviously
only
Kevin
film.
Spacey. Kaiser Sose.
Sorry.
I love that film.
Kevin Spacey, before we found out he was a bit strange.
Yeah.
It's the only film ever where I've got up at the end and literally out loud gone, oh, whoa,
Yeah.
whoa. Like, literally, it got a reaction.
I mean, that was another great director, Bryan Singer.
Yeah.
I mean,
He
did-
directed the good X-Men films.
Yeah, he did Bohemian Rhapsody. I mean, it was taken over by
Unreal.
Dexter Fletcher, I think. But
That film's 13th on my list, Bohemian Rhapsody.
Yeah, Bohemian Rhapsody is such a good film, but I don't know how it won the Oscar for Best Editing. Did you see, like, when it won the Oscar and people were...
I guess it's maybe sound editing, was it? Or just editing?
No,
in general?
editing.
Shit.
But did you see when people were sharing, like, one of the sings from it and it was just cut?
Yeah.
It's like in Taken 3.
Yes,
Have
Liam
you
Neeson
seen that scene?
when he's jumping over the fence.
Yep. There's about 8 or 9 different
Yeah.
cuts for jumping over a fence.
Legit, if you
Mad.
hadn't like epilepsy, you would have a fit.
That is
during
mad,
that. It's
honest.
just too many cuts.
That Bohemian Rhapsody, though, surprised me because, as Josh knows, and it upsets him so much,
Yeah.
I'm not the biggest fan of Queen. Like, I I think they're very overrated, and
What?
that's a horrendous statement for like most of the people in the UK.
Why not? Okay, yeah.
But I'm just gonna say like but after that film, not only did I think, oh, I feel like I know Freddie Mercury a bit better now. Like I had no idea he'd gone through all that stuff, but the film was just amazing, like incredible.
So the original plan for the film was that Sacha Baron Cohen was gonna play. I was going to say Eddie Mercury.
I'd like to see that.
I would, yeah. But he was going to play Freddie Mercury, and it was going to be more a personal story about Freddie Mercury's life.
Right. Okay.
Beginning to end.
I felt like it was quite personal though. Still,
the thing is, with Bohemian Rhapsody, it had more to do with like the rest of the band's input.
Yeah.
And they didn't want to do it all about Freddie. They wanted it to be about the band.
Yeah.
Which is why they have a lot of scenes where they've actually changed complete events.
Right.
Yeah, like they show off in the film that Queen broke up at one point.
Yeah.
And right before Live Aid, they came together.
Right, okay.
They never actually broke up.
But then Freddie did definitely go off and do his thing, didn't he, though?
Yeah. So
but they didn't officially say, look, we're split.
They never actually split because the year before Live Aid, they'd just released an album.
Oh, right.
So they were touring.
Oh, right.
So it's another one of those films where they've taken a lot and changed the odd event.
When you have the band members that are still alive and Brian May and all that, I guess it's hard to think that they wouldn't want to tweak a little bit. It's
like elaborate a bit, because the bits that you won't want to see.
I mean, you can give some liberty when like adapting a film from real life, but to change stuff like that is it's a bit hard to take.
It's, to be honest, it's like I don't know anything about him. I just know that I heard Bohemian Rhapsody and don't like the tune. So to watch the film and appreciate everything as fact, that's what I took from that. But a film where literally they got it so right, it was unreal, and it's in the top 10 for me, was Straight Out of Compton. Being a hip-hop head who loves his hip-hop, that was true to the absolute T. And do you know what I mean? Like, I've literally studied NWA for ages and tried to explain to people how influential, how revolutionary they were and things like that. Never been able to do it. And then that film came out and I watched it, was like, wow. I honestly went straight home, grabbed my two co-presenters from the hip-hop show at the time, Jack and Bids. I said, you come into the cinema now, we're going to go see this. I watched it twice in a day.
Nice.
And they came out of the cinema and were like, I get it now. I get it now. And I was like, that is true. Like every single piece of that is true.
It is such an influential story. Yeah. And it's a great thing that we have that film.
Yeah.
So people know more about NWA.
Because it wasn't just
really well made as well.
A thing, you know what I mean? Like, this is what I'm saying about getting lost in films that are true. Sometimes people forget what famous people have done. Like, for example, Theory of Everything. We forget just how amazing Stephen Hawking's was. And like the Darkest Hour, we forget how incredibly influential Churchill was and stuff like that. The NWA
Imitation Game
was like, yeah, exactly.
Imitation,
That's incredible. That's in my top 100 as well.
Yeah.
And it's films like that captivate you and make you think, oh my days, these people.
Yeah, it puts another point on how you feel about films as well, and those kind of grounded films. Because there's so many, like, there's an abundance of those kind of films. You know, I mean, there's loads and loads of fantasy films that really do take you to another planet and let you escape, but you can still escape within, you know, your realm. Yeah, exactly. Within history and
100%. I think that's what I've learned from this. Even today, I've put my finger on it now. It's not that I don't like films where I can't imagine being in it. I like films where I'm like, wow, this happened. Like,
yeah, I'm getting that you prefer more biographical films.
Yeah.
So based on true events.
To be fair, I'll just tell you my top 10 and you can see there's a pattern. So like at 10, I've got Patriots Day. That happened. Shawshank Redemption, you can imagine that happening. At 8 is The Boat That Rocked. That happened. 7, Schindler's List, that happened. Straight Out of Compton happened. Dunkirk happened. 1917 happened. The Green Mile, you can imagine happening.
Wait. The Green Mile, you can imagine happening?
Yeah, well,
Okay,
yeah.
continue.
Do you know what I mean? Like, it's got the setup. Actually, yeah, that is a good point.
No,
That's do you know what I mean? The bit where he brings the mouse back to life. Yeah.
No,
So it's
it's
just
a little bit of a touch. That's what a little bit of a touch is fine.
upbeat casualty, mate. That's all it is.
upbeat.
Forrest Gump, you can imagine happening, sort of. Like, I can imagine that.
Yeah.
And Billy Elliot, obviously, like the miners' strike and everything else. That's number one on my list. You can imagine all that happening.
Have you ever seen Brassed Off?
No.
Oh yes.
I recommend that because
Yes.
that's a film about the miners' strike, but it's also about it's set in Durham.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Set
I've
in
seen
Durham,
that. I've seen
about
that
the miners'
actor. I
strike.
met that good. Peter Postlethwaite.
Oh,
Is that
really?
his name? Yeah, I've seen. I didn't meet him, but I saw him in
Just walking down the
cinema.
street.
No, it was like a cinema for a premiere abroad. Like The Constant Gardener. I think it was in a film.
Okay.
Yeah. Just saw him across the road.
Nice.
Across the way. Yeah, I
but
love
it's
that
a
guy.
it's a good film then, Brassed Off.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
it's
really
about
good, man.
like is it a brass band
Yeah.
that play when all the miners' strikes were going on and everything like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely recommend that. It's a great.
I
film.
reckon
It's
I'd
really
love
good.
it.
It's a
I-
proper English film. Like,
I think because I went
that.
to uni around that region, like I didn't really think that much of the miners thing because there's not really that many pits in York or anything like that.
yeah.
But up there, it's like pit
It's
towns
huge,
everywhere. And so I really got on board. Even in Sunderland Stadium, I went in Sunderland. There's like they've decked the stadium with like all of the old like murals that they used to have. You know, like the knitted like things that they put on parades and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like it's all dedicated to miners. There's like miners lamps as you go up the stairs towards the exec boxes and stuff. And it's built on a colliery. We'll get there. So you know what I'm saying? Like, I think that's why Billy Elliot went so high because when I watched it, I was around that situation. I was like, wow.
Have you ever seen it or wanted to see it like live on stage?
Oh, mate, it's my dream. Like honestly, I've never seen Billy Elliot the musical, and I'd love to. Like Elton John's done the sound score and stuff as well.
Yeah.
And he's so underrated as a sort of like musical writer, I think.
What, Elton John?
Yeah, like I know he's massive. I know he's absolutely huge, but like people forget just how much he's done with like the West End and musicals and stuff.
I mean, heck, even like Lion King.
Yeah.
Yeah, Lion King. Got an Oscar for that. Oh no, sorry, did Hans Zimmer get?
Oh, I'm not sure.
Yeah. Yeah, dude, Elton John's great. I love Elton John. I've not seen Rocket Man.
That
It's
I wanna
definitely on
see.
like a list of things I need to watch.
I didn't know he did
Ever-growing.
the score for the Billy Elliot soundtrack. Though.
Yeah, mate, he did the whole thing, and
Well, for the stage play, wasn't it?
yeah. The whole of the West End sound score is him. So it's like it's mental. But yeah, like I've watched 439 films now, so 450th I want to be Rocket Man.
Nice.
Like I always like on every 50 I always pick something extra special.
I do like a good musical every now and then. I mean, it's good, really upbeat. Just makes you feel good after you watch it. I mean, there's some that are shit, Cats, but like
I can't say I ever really watch musicals, to be honest.
I saw I don't know, just from school, like I watched a lot. I like Grease, man. I really love Grease.
Hairspray pops off, honestly.
Hairsplay's weird because John
Love that.
Travolta's weird
Yeah, he
in
is.
that.
John
The whole
Travolta's
thing's
weird, so
weird.
it's weird.
Yeah, I mean,
any John Travolta film is weird because he's weird.
There's a film that came out last year. I think last year. It's only been a month. Called The Fanatic. Really, really weird John Travolta film made by the director. The director was Limp Bizkit.
Wow.
Seriously?
Yeah, and I think it didn't make more than definitely didn't make its budget back, but barely made any money. It's just a really, really weird film about John Travolta, and he's a film fanatic and obsessed with this actor. He just goes to these crazy lengths.
Oh, I think I've seen that advertised.
And he has
'Cause
a bowl cut.
He's wearing a ball cap
Yeah,
and stuff, yeah.
it's just John Travolta. Like,
Wow.
this guy was
That
in
is
Greece,
different.
but I love Greece, so like,
Grease
Yeah,
is great.
this guy was in Greece. What?
Grease is a classic, isn't it? At the end of the day.
John Travolta's career kind of dropped off a bit, didn't it?
yeah. I mean, Quentin Tarantino said it. I watched the interview. Like, he kind of dropped off before he started Pulp Fiction. Before Quentin got him in Pulp Fiction, and I think everybody at the time when they found out that he was cast in the film was a bit like, oh, what, that guy? Like, you wouldn't want him in the film, and then sort of had his resurgence with that film.
Yeah, just kind of like the Staying Alive guy.
Yeah.
Saturday Night Fever.
Yeah.
What?
Can I just like ask, like, because I've got a question for you boys.
Yeah.
Like, cause I thought about this last night. What is your favourite actor or actress of all time? And you can have two, because I couldn't decide between like one.
Oh, I've thought about this a lot before. I'd have to say Robert De Niro
Ah, yes.
or Leonardo DiCaprio.
Okay. Two solid choices.
Unfortunately, I've not seen The Irishman yet.
Ooh, I mean,
It's overrated. Like,
got
it should
fair.
have been. It should have been for me a series. Like, it should have split that in three.
I like it, but I can totally agree.
Yeah.
Well, have you seen that people have found out a way to split it into like 4 episodes?
Because that'd be handy. Because I kept getting a numb bum like after an hour. I had to get up and take a walk.
It's
Yeah.
definitely enjoyable film. Really good performances. Going back to the actors thing, I would probably say Brad Pitt. Man, I love Brad Pitt.
Nice.
Okay, yeah.
Like, yeah, really good film. Really good films in his.
I mean, Fight Club and Seven.
Fight Club, yeah, 7.
Fury's a good one with Brad Pitt in as well.
Fury.
I've never seen Fury, actually.
It's brilliant. It is really good.
I really like Troy. I think that's just, I watched it so many times as a kid. And I don't know, just another one, let's think.
He's underrated. He's got one, Allied. Have you ever seen Allied? It's
Allied is
unreal.
really good.
It's unreal.
That was released a couple of years back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like about
I've seen it advertised.
Yeah,
but-
like 7 Years in Tibet. I love that.
yeah. He's good. That is a good shot. Solid.
Yeah.
For me, like, mine's a bit weird, like, obviously, but I've got Tom Hanks, because I love Tom Hanks. Like, but weirdly, like, every actor has their hit and miss films, and he has got some films that are like quite disappointing down the bottom. And
I can't think of
I
any
can't think of any, yeah.
bad Tom Hanks films.
I've got one right here for you.
What's that film where you're stuck in an airport?
Oh, that was
The
brilliant. that.
Terminal.
The Terminal.
That was fantastic.
Such a good film.
Classic.
Let's try and find this A Hologram for a King.
Oh, the hologram for a game.
Terrible film. But apart from that, Tom Hanks, like, he dominates the top 10 for me. Like, dominates the top 100 with like Sully.
Okay, what about British actor? Let's think.
Bill Nighy all the way.
Bill Nye?
Like, it's not even in a but again, he's hit and
British
miss.
actors.
Because there's some great British actors. I mean, I really like Ewan McGregor.
Ewan McGregor, yeah. I'd say Fassbender's up there.
Cillian
Fassbender.
Murphy.
Cillian Murphy. But
Cillian
yeah.
Murphy.
Mark Strong.
Mark Strong. Great actor.
Taron Egerton.
Really like...
'Cause-
Hugo Weaving's British, right?
Not sure.
He might be like Australian.
But yeah, Taron Egerton, mainly because
Oh, yes.
I rewatched Eddie the Eagle last night.
Yes, mate. What a film.
Such a good
Oh,
film.
he's Australian.
It is a brilliant film,
yeah.
that.
And
Taron Egerton.
My favourite actor, right, because I thought about this, is Bill Nighy with its films, but with TV,
Yeah.
I think I've got a better actor, and it's, what's he called? The guy who plays, he's in Ashes to Ashes, Life on Mars, and he
oh, yeah.
what's it, Summit Lancaster.
Oh, Philip Lancaster.
Yeah. And honestly, like, his performance is unreal in them two
It's
things.
Gene Hunt.
Yeah, Gene Hunt.
Yeah.
DCI Hunt. I'm going for Booner. I just love that guy.
Lambooner.
Yeah, Booner. You're nicked, pub. That's all he says, like, literally. I love him. But yeah, so...
We've forgotten one major actor, Michael Caine.
Of
Michael
course.
Caine.
Michael Caine.
I lost
Yeah.
a little bit of respect for him, though, in some ways. Because he said, like, I don't really mind these days whether I make a good or a bad film. He's like, I made a bad film once and it bought me a house. So.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't know if that's
He
the
said,
attitude
yeah.
to have.
I think he said. I don't remember the film, but I remember the house they bought. Like,
The thing is, I can imagine a lot of actors think that way, but
he's
just the one that's come out and said it.
Yeah, I
he's
suppose,
just in the
like,
game. He's been in the game so long. It's just like that. You know what I mean?
You know what you're getting with him.
Yeah.
So at least it's consistent.
Have you seen Harry Brown?
Yes, mate. It's
No.
in the top
Such a
100.
good film. Is it?
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah.
No, I never seen it.
Quality
But
film,
Add
that.
that to the
So
ever-growing list.
He's got a mate, basically,
Yeah.
down the pub. So he's like become a widow. There's youths causing trouble in the streets.
set in London.
And they attack his mate. So basically, he's like, I'm not having this. So he goes all SAS on him, gets his own back
Sass.
basically, and it's just like the build up, the suspense, everything's amazing. But I do think I've got a film that I'm about to chuck on this list, and it'll be the 440th film I watch, and it's called Mr. Morgan's Last Love, and it's got Harry Kane in it.
Yeah.
Harry Kane. That's not the man. It's got Michael Caine in it. Sorry, lads, I'm thinking about his hamstring injury. I just really want England to perform well this summer. Michael Caine. And for me, it's his best performance, and I can't find the DVD anywhere. So my advice to people is start buying it, go into CX, trade it in so that I can get the DVD.
I'm sorry, you can't find the DVD anywhere because you don't have an Amazon account.
True. Like my mate, to be honest, it's a weird thing that he does, but he collects very Chubby Brown DVDs. But basically, it's the novelty of like going round and searching for them. Like he loves the, is it the rush? I don't know. Like of going in and going, right, yeah, I ain't got this one, rather than just going on Amazon and getting them. Like,
yeah,
like
no,
a proper collector
I
situation.
totally understand that, man. I love that. Like just collecting anything is. If you're passionate about it, it can be a rush. I can feel that.
Yeah, I respect it. I think it's really cool, to be honest, like what he does. We went to CX and had a look yesterday. He's waiting for one. I can't repeat the name of it. Can I?
Go for it.
You fat bastard.
Yeah.
We can swear on this. You can't swear on your radio
No,
show.
yeah, it feels a bit strange, doesn't it? It's like, should I say fudge cake?
How dare you? Get out.
Sorry guys, I'll see you never again, sorry.
But yeah, you thought The Irishman was overrated.
Yeah, well, it just didn't really, it was too slow, I think.
Have you seen films like The Godfather?
Yeah.
And what did you think to that?
It's like, I think it's just outside my top 10. I'll have a little look for you now.
Okay.
If you're talking about pace, though,
11th.
I would put it on the same level as like those kind of films.
Yeah.
Like Coppola's films, like Godfather, you know, it's on that level. They're both really long films. Both have a lot in them. Like, I didn't feel like it dragged. I just felt like there was a lot there that it's just a lot of commitment. That's all. I just take the time and commitment to sit down and watch it, and you'll enjoy it. But I guess these days, everybody wants to split things up.
Yeah, because like going back to talking about our favourite films, Godfather rates highly for me as well.
Yeah.
1 or 2.
I think it's just got more to it.
Yeah.
Because they are as good as each other, I would say.
I've not seen the second one, so I need to get around to that. There's so many films I've not seen it. That's the mint thing about it.
Definitely watch the second one. The third one is it's okay, but you can give it a miss, to be honest.
Yeah. I've not seen the third one. The first and the second I've seen.
Okay.
Al Pacino. So good, man.
He's
another
you come
great
to
actor.
me on my wedding day, or whatever he says, and it's like.
I mean, that's not Al Pacino that says that,
isn't that?
Marlon Brando, is it?
My bad. See, that's the thing. So, like, this is the nice thing about like obviously doing this with you guys today is the fact that I'm like that casual film guy who's created a list and gone, these are 439 films I've seen and ranked. That's as far as it goes for me.
Yeah, man.
Like, so to actually come in and go, like this film, and then you guys to dissect it and like, I just feel like I learned like so much about it.
Yeah, just add a couple more films to the list and
it's nice.
Yeah.
Let it
So,
grow.
similar question to favourite actors. Who are your favourite directors?
Christopher Nolan.
Christopher Nolan, yeah.
Christopher Nolan. Yeah.
Christopher Nolan's a great director and everything, but I think Interstellar was a big dump.
Don't start
for me.
Don't start me. Don't start.
Really?
I love Interstellar.
Like,
I love it.
I've only seen it once, so maybe I need to watch it again. But I just found it a very average. It was trying to be more than it actually was.
I'll give you this. That I think that I think he struggles with like that emotional side. Like the connection between in the film the daughter and the father, Matthew McConaughey, and that's the only weakness for me in that film. Other than that, I really just love the spectacle of it, and the story is hard to follow, but I think a second viewing, man, you'd really enjoy it.
Like,
so
visually, I'd say it's a brilliant film. I enjoy the planet hopping as well.
Yeah.
Kind of like how, a minute on this world is 7 years back on Earth.
Yeah.
Kind of thing was really interesting.
It adds that tense like feeling when you're watching it. It really builds it up, which I really enjoyed.
Yeah. I definitely need to give it a second viewing. But when you say about Brad Pitt being one of your favourite actors, did you see Ad Astra?
No, I haven't seen Ad Astra.
Visually, it's good.
Yeah.
Everything else about it, no. It's like it's trying to be one of these really artsy films, but it just fails.
Doesn't. Yeah, I think that's the problem with those kind of films. They're good when they're done well, but if you miss the mark, you can really tell.
It's like what you said with in one of your previous podcasts when you were talking about Avatar.
Yeah,
and I totally agreed with that. Like, it's one of them films where they've tried to like fancy it up with all this CGI and graphics and whoa, this is what the future of film looks like. And I kind of appreciate it, but it just kind of looked like a bit of a project, not a finished. The film itself wasn't great.
Yeah, so
it's one of those classic stories, isn't it? It's like,
so for a film that took 20 years to be released because they were waiting on the technology and supposedly updating the script, it was just very lackluster and disappointing.
I think it was a good film, but if you put all that context on top of it, it does. I can see how you feel. Like,
like visually, it's stunning. It is.
Yeah, no one can deny. Like, if you've got a 4K
Groundbreaking.
telly, bang that on and test it.
Yeah, groundbreaking film to watch in the cinema. But I don't think it's worth watching outside the cinema.
No, exactly. I just want to shout out, like, because you guys are talking about directors and stuff, and to be honest with you, as I say, that's one of the beauties of coming on today is the fact that I'm learning all the time. I don't know that many directors, but for me, my favourite director is Daniel Gill.
Daniel Gill.
It's a random shout, but he did Modern Life is Rubbish, and that is like one of the most genius put together films I've seen in my life. It's just outside the top 100 there, but like, I don't know, the way that he filmed it all was so clever, and he interlinked it with music. I love films where the music fits the sort of like screening and it's seamless. So Modern Life is Rubbish is a song, I think it's by Pulp or something, and he fit it all together to represent both British music and how it's evolved, and a love story within it. So I was like, oof, that's cool.
Yeah.
I'd like to see a lot more of him because he's clearly got a very smart brain on him.
Yeah, I'll have to check it out.
I just wanted to like call that one out. I genuinely did have to Google him, whoever directed that film, but I wanted to shout that out.
Oh, it's a recent film as well, is it? Yeah.
It's like 2018, is it 17? Like yeah.
So for me, I've got maybe 3 directors that I class as really high regard.
Nice.
The first being Ridley Scott.
Yes.
Even though recently some of the stuff he's done has been a bit...
He churns out films, to be fair.
Yeah, but I think...
What films has he got?
In the past, he's done like
Gladiator,
Alien, Blade Runner, American Gangster,
yeah,
Prometheus, Alien Covenant, The Martian.
That's a fair few big ones.
He's just got a great reel of films that he's done.
Yeah.
And some of these like rank really highly for me.
Yeah.
Like The Martian was a great film.
I love that film.
Yeah.
Matt Damon in that film is just amazing.
Matt Damon.
So my dad's read the book and he really enjoys the film as well, but he says the book's more fact based than the film, which it kind of just dumbs it down a little bit.
Yeah.
Which is in no way like a
taken away from.
In no way takes away from what Ridley Scott's done with that film.
Yeah.
Visually, it's impressive. The story's impressive. Everyone saves Matt Damon.
I think that film won like adapted screenplay. So like it really shows that when you can adapt something, like if you're saying it's like a technical book to a film that anybody can understand, such a crazy out there topic.
What I really enjoyed about The Martian as well is that it's science fact, not science fiction.
Yeah.
Do you know what? That's just literally twigged in my mind. It's in my top 100 because it's a fact.
Yeah.
Like, I was looking at that going, whoa, that actually happened. Like, that's sick.
Yeah.
Matt Damon does something so well as well, by the way. He's an underrated actor for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's an exceptional actor.
He's another good actor.
Yeah. I would say, going back to cancelled sequels...
Oh, yeah.
Did you hear about the original plan for Gladiator 2?
No.
Right around the time
I need to hear this.
The first Gladiator was released and it did really well at the box office.
Yeah.
They were kind of like, oh, maybe we should write a sequel to this. And they wrote one. But it was about Maximus's time in the afterlife. And he's basically going through history in different wars.
Oh, God.
It sounds like it makes no sense.
That sounds like it just hurt my
It
feelings.
sounds like somebody has too much time and they're just writing things for no reason.
I mean, now they're doing Gladiator 2, so I wonder if
Are
it's
they
going to be
actually
anything
doing
like
it?
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder if there's like a point where you start writing a script and go, I've invested like 8 hours of my time here. I'm just going to keep going.
Yeah.
And then at the end you go, yeah, nah. That's not happening.
Maybe, but if it's got optioned by a studio, I wonder how the hell it got that far.
It scares me sometimes, but it's
So many films like that.
also like doesn't surprise me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's like, oh no, but then it's just like they have the money and they see the profit that they can possibly make from it, and
That's
it's
it,
worth
yeah.
the risk for them to ruin great films.
Sometimes money talks, doesn't it? And I think
All the time.
there's a few films though that I've watched where I'm like, how? Like for example, has anyone seen the Horrible Histories film?
No.
No, but yeah, I know.
I thought Kate Nash was like completely done with everything.
Kate Nash.
She did like Foundations and stuff like that.
This singer.
Unreal singer,
Hmm.
and that album was like one of my favorite albums by a female artist of all time.
Yeah.
But she's gone into acting and she appears in Horrible Histories, but she does all the sound score and stuff for it. And with all due respect to Kate Nash, please go back to your original stuff. You never do that again.
Go back to the foundations.
It was so bad. Like, but with all, I'm not like slanging her because like I know you've got to appeal to kids.
You're slagging her a little bit.
Maybe, but I know you've got to appeal to kids. But like, obviously, her original album doesn't appeal to kids. It's like really like for the adults.
Yeah.
Like, but then having said that, we were kids when we were going. You've gone and got sick on my trainers. At like 8, and we're like, oh yeah, he's got a tummy bug. but yeah. So Horrible History. Do not touch it. I know I went on a tangent there.
A little bit, yeah.
I wouldn't touch it.
Is that the Romans?
Yeah. So that's an example for me of a script that just went too far.
It's advertised on Amazon Prime all the time. It's really trying to get me to watch it, and I don't know why.
It's like,
because I don't
please.
watch anything like that.
What
Please watch
have
it.
you been searching, Josh?
That's how I watched it because it kept asking me to watch it. I was like, look, all right.
So moving on. Another director that I hold in high regard would have to be Denis Villeneuve.
Oh, Denis
Villeneuve?
Villeneuve.
Yeah.
Villeneuve. He's
Yeah.
doing
Dune.
really well.
He's doing
Dune.
He's doing like the new
Dune.
Dune. I can't even speak today.
Dune.
But he's got such another good like list of films that he's done.
His repertoire.
Blade Runner
is absolutely
2049.
amazing. I prefer
Arrival.
2049 to Ridley's. Honestly,
Me too. Yeah.
I love 2049.
I think as much as I enjoy Blade Runner, I think the original is a little bit overrated.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many bloody cuts. It's just like...
Yeah. There's so many different versions of it. It's like, which one's the best?
Yeah.
And just give me that one.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think it's like... people say it's the director's cut, but it's just... Yeah.
There's directors, ultimate directors or
It's just
something.
like-
Extreme cut.
Yeah, and then there's like
And there's-
the theater cut.
Yeah.
Just like, show me the film.
Show me the film. So, talking about the films that he's done, Blade Runner 2049, Arrival,
Yes.
Sicario, Enemy, Prisoners.
Yeah.
Just, yeah.
Enemy is really weird. Sorry, am I thinking of Enemy? Is that the Gosling? No, sorry. Jake Gyllenhaal?
I've not actually seen Enemy, but it's Jake Gyllenhaal.
Yeah. That's
sees
a weird film.
Another version of himself or something, like a lookalike.
Yeah, that's a really good film. Would recommend.
But Gyllenhaal did Prisoners as well,
Yeah.
didn't he? Yeah, which was a brilliant film.
I really, really like Prisoners. Hugh Jackman, really good film.
I love Hugh Jackman. Like, he's such a good actor. 100%.
I think
Have you seen Greatest Showman?
Yeah, of course I have, mate. Right up there.
Oh, back to the
Am
musicals.
I watching that tonight? Yes, I am.
That is one of the few musicals I've seen and actually like really liked.
I've never seen it.
The soundtrack got stuck in my head for a while.
Oh,
Do you know that
God.
whole thing was like a bit of an accident as well? Like, so basically, obviously, yeah, they had Hugh Jackman and they had Zac Efron and some big actors in there, but they expected it to be a box office flop. Like, they did not have high hopes for it at all, and it just came out of nowhere basically and completely stole the show. But the songwriting in that, I know I go back to songs again, but songwriting in that is immense.
Yeah.
Like, absolutely genius. Fits the script. The actors are... Oh, mate, it's on point. Can we get it on now, please?
Let's just get it on in background.
Let's just go for it. This
Yeah,
is the greatest show.
Yeah.
Woo.
I need to watch that. I don't know. I feel like it's just too over the top for me. But I feel like if you guys enjoy it, then I have to watch it.
Honestly,
Sometimes over the
Great.
top's good though.
Yeah.
That's what you want.
it's over the top in context. Like, when you go and watch Hair... It sounds like I love musicals now. These aren't in my top 100. There's been some absolutely dire things. Like La La Land was so like rated.
It was so meh.
But it wasn't good. And like people are like, oh, the dancing. And I'm not being like a geek about dancing, but it was not on point. Like it wasn't.
I think, yeah.
I respect it because, yeah, fine, he's not danced before and stuff like that, and I respected it, but it wasn't great. But then you've got like obviously Hairspray and The Greatest Showman, where they've gone over the top and it's enjoyable over the top, and then you've got over the top that's awful over the top, like Les Miserables.
I love that film, Les Miserables.
I've not seen it actually.
There's an honest trailer for it that's actually hilarious, but I do really like the film. Like Hugh Jackman again.
He's good. To be honest, I just don't like
Anne Hathaway.
Anne Hathaway's immense.
Really great. But I can understand that it's over the top.
Love the actors, hate the film for some reason. That can happen sometimes.
But there's no dialogue in it. It's all singing.
Yeah, and that's what puts me off it.
Yeah.
To be honest, because like I say, I'm not a massive musical fan.
Yeah.
So
there's no time to breathe. It's all sing.
So if all the dialogue is musical, then I'm not.
Yeah,
really as interested.
It does divide the audience.
Like, production value looks really good.
I mean, that was Tom Hooper, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Same guy that did Cats. He loves it.
Yeah. But for me, whoever Tom Hooper is, he's not getting it right. Like, Tom. Like, literally, like, this is the equation. Got lots of money, make a film, mess.
Okay, have you seen The King's Speech?
Yeah, I love that film.
Tom Hooper.
I respect you again. all is well in the world. Can we play a quick little game? So if I give you guys an actor, you've got to tell me one film that you hate and one film that you rate.
Oh God, okay.
So we're gonna start with Michael Caine because I'm intrigued.
Within his
any of his repertoire, like anything he's been in, even if it's just a line.
Okay,
hate and rate.
I love him as Alfred.
Nice. Yeah.
Gonna go straight in there, steal that one.
Which film though?
Really like him in the last one, Dark Knight Rises.
All right, well I like him in The Dark Knight.
Boom.
I think he has more to do in The Dark Knight Rises.
Even though he leaves for half the film.
Yeah, but that last scene. I mean, he doesn't do anything in the last scene, but like, I think he has a bit more range in the last film. Obviously, him hiding that letter from Bruce in the second one comes back to bite him a bit, and then obviously Bruce thought to be dead. He does have that emotional range. Really well really well played. Another good film of his, Italian Job.
Yeah, Italian Job is what I was going to go
You're
with.
only supposed to blow the bloody doors off.
Yeah, I'm going to go Italian Job. Great performance.
Obvious reasons. Love it.
I don't know if I've seen a bad Michael Caine film.
Yeah.
Because he's been in a lot of like Christopher Nolan stuff, which I really know him from, like The Prestige. And obviously...
I think I know a bad film. The Swarm.
Okay.
I think he was in it with... Because that's the film that, going back to what you said about him, I don't remember the film, but I remember the house.
Yeah, that's the one that got in the house.
Was the film that a lot of good actors were in it.
The Swarm.
Okay.
All right, here's another one then.
Well, it has 11% on Rotten Tomatoes.
For me, like Leonardo DiCaprio, right?
Yeah.
There is hate and rate situations happening in there. So, like, I know he's your favourite, Josh, but a hate and rate situation.
Leo.
Because for me, The Great Gatsby's trash. It's a big statement, but I just don't like it. It's
all right. It's not one of his best.
It's kind of style over substance.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I'd agree that it's not great per se. It's okay, but for rate, I'd say Wolf of Wall Street.
Yes.
Inception.
Yes.
Talent.
Blood Diamond.
Oh yeah.
The Departed.
Yeah. Oh.
I've still not seen Blood Diamond.
The Departed.
Have you seen The Departed?
Yeah, The Departed's immense. Titanic's obviously sick. Like, you can't deny it's an amazing
Titanic, yeah. But I'm looking through, like, his body of work.
Catch Me If You Can.
What about The Revenant? Isn't
Catch
great.
Me If You Can, yes. Yeah.
Catch Me If You Can's a class film. That's got Tom Hanks in it.
I've not seen The Revenant, actually.
It's not. I don't know. It's just not my thing. I think it's like a still film, really, isn't it? Like where there's not a lot of words.
It's a very
but
visually
also like The Aviator,
film. The Aviator.
Remember that
The
one, to be fair.
Beach.
The Beach, yeah.
He's been in Romeo and Juliet. That was terrible.
What? I thought that's the musical, isn't it?
How If Thou
they have
Romeo and
music.
all that. I think it's
I've
because
not
it was
seen
in
that.
it was in. We had to study it in English. In
It's
GCSE.
good because it's not like okay, it is Old English, but it's sort of set in modern times, right?
Yeah.
I like that.
I don't know. I think maybe it's because we had to dissect it scene by scene in English. I just remember the teacher being like,
You got sick of it a bit.
like every 10 minutes we'd stop it. I was like, no, play on. I want to see what happens to Caprio or Montague or whatever he's called.
I'm just going to go out and say I don't think I've actually seen a bad DiCaprio film. I'd say Great Gatsby probably is the worst, I'd say. But
Even then,
I might
you're
have to
right.
hop on
It's not
IMDb.
terrible, is
I
it?
don't think it's a terrible
It's
film.
not unwatchable.
No, exactly. What I do find strange about that film is that it's got a Jay-Z soundtrack when it's set in the 1920s.
Yeah.
That seemed very
But-
like, what?
From a hip hop perspective,
Jay-Z was knocking about back then, wasn't he?
if we've been deep, like from a hip hop perspective, that was awesome because in the 1920s, that's when you've got like all your blues and all that stuff really prominent, like jazz, and it's like almost a comparison. So he's gone back to that element and stuck hip hop on it because that eventually, decades later, would evolve to be hip hop. So, fire! If we had a klaxon right now, I'd be going off.
But what would you say, Josh?
As a bad film for Leo, or a good film?
Good and bad. I mean, I
Really-
think we've covered all the good ones.
Shutter Island.
Shutter Island, yeah.
Another
See,
good
I wasn't
one.
a fan of that either.
I'm just thinking about the bad ones. There really aren't any. Oh, The Man in the Iron Mask is really good. Really good.
I think I saw it like years ago, but can't really remember it, to be honest.
I can't remember this one.
Bad film really doesn't exist. Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
I really don't know.
It's a hard one, isn't it? I'd
'Cause
say...
I can say mediocre films, but that I can't nowhere near bad.
No, right, so next actor.
So I'm gonna tweak it up slightly and say, name me an actor that should be doing more. You know what I mean? Like either an up and coming star or someone that is so. Like for example, in football, like when you see a young 21-year-old, you're like, right, he's gonna be the next Beckham. Like who's gonna be the next DiCaprio, the next Michael Caine? I think what's he called? That Egbert Eddie.
Taron Egerton.
I think he's got potential.
Yeah, he's definitely got the potential there because that
I feel like
every performance he does is pretty impressive, like Kingsman as well.
Eddie the Eagle. Obviously,
He's
been
Rocket
good in
Man,
Rocket
isn't he?
Man.
He did well in that apparently.
Yeah.
He's great. I like him a lot. He's got potential.
I really, really like. What's his name?
Cillian Murphy, has he got a chance?
I think he's already at the height, to be honest, because of Peaky Blinders.
Yeah, to be fair, he's pretty good, isn't he? Legend, who's that? Tom Hardy, do you think he's peaked now?
I think so.
It's a hard one, isn't it?
Probably. I think they just need to get the next Mad Max film out because he was so good.
I didn't like Mad Max either.
I think Domhnall Gleeson. Do you know that guy?
No,
Yes. About time.
About time.
Oh,
main
right,
actor.
yeah, okay.
He needs to do more because
Yeah.
I feel so bad for him after Hugs. Like they did him dirty. They did him dirty in episode.
Christ, I mean, what they did to
episode
him
9.
in that made no sense to me. It was
Yeah.
terrible.
He's such a good actor. I mean, go back to Revenant. He's in that. Really good. What else? About time.
I'd like to shout out a female actress as well because I'm just getting up the cast of Modern Life is Rubbish. This girl's recently been in another one which was about football as well. She's called Freya Mavor.
Okay.
So she played a fantastic character in Modern Life is Rubbish, and she was in a Sky film about a footballer who was basically taken as a prisoner of war in a German. He was a German taken to Britain, and they realised that he's really good in goal, and this local football team can't do without him.
Oh, what was this called?
It's a true story.
Yeah, it's just outside my top 100. I'll get it up for you now.
I think I've seen it advertised. Yeah.
It's called The Keeper, of course.
Okay.
And then he goes on to play for Manchester City. So they like scout him. He stays in England after the war, but he has to deal with like lots of sort of almost racism, I guess, because do you know what I mean? People are sort of segregating against him. And this lady, Freya Mavoy, she plays the love of his life sort of thing, and is a big part of. I think I like romances. I think I've realised this.
Okay.
And she's really good actor. So
Yeah.
whether we'll see her in more, I don't know, because she is quite like indie with her films, I'd say.
Yeah.
If I can say that. I only know that because on Sky Movies it said indie section, and she's in pretty much all of them.
I like a good indie film. Like,
Yeah.
I think actors like that just need a small role in and make a big break and get more acting jobs.
For
see it.
actors that we need to see more of and that might be like big things, maybe because I've seen 1917 not so long ago,
Amazing.
Oh, yeah.
but George McKay,
Yeah. Yes.
because in that film,
He
I
was.
wouldn't say there was a bad line delivered from him.
No, he was really good.
He did incredibly
And I
well.
think to act on a film like 1917 that's made to look like it's all one take, you have to be at the best of your
on
game
point at all times.
at all times.
Yeah.
You have to remember what you said last and how you said it. So when that camera goes action, you have to be at that previous shot before you start on the next.
Yeah.
I mean, that is acting. So,
Basically, what I've
they did a
described
lot of
is a job.
they
so
did.
basically, he acts.
He acts well. Thanks, everyone. Good night.
But yeah, I would also say Sam Mendes is probably one of my favourite directors.
Skyfall, great film.
Skyfall, Spectre. Let's just forget about that. Jarhead,
Jarhead's class.
Never
underrated
seen
war film.
Fantastic film.
Is that Jake Gyllenhaal?
It is, isn't it? Yeah.
Believe so, yeah.
Road to Perdition,
Yes.
American Beauty.
Road to Perdition's
American
overrated.
Beauty.
American Beauty was amazing. It's good. It's good. You've named some guys where tonight I've gone, do you know what? Wow, yeah. Like, I didn't realise these directors have done so many cool films.
Yeah. Right. So I think now's probably a good time to start to wrap it up a little bit.
Okay.
But I kind of want you to give me another actor that have made a good and bad film.
All right. Should we do one more?
Go on then.
Should we find one that we can actually pick a bad film for?
Right. Let's do.
Ryan Reynolds. Bad Green Lantern.
Interesting.
And X-Men Origins Wolverine. Good Deadpool.
Deadpool 2.
Or Van Wilder.
Ryan Reynolds was in that weird film about where I think it's got Anna Kendrick in it as well. He murders his girlfriend
Oh,
and
The
puts her head in
Voices.
the fridge. Yeah.
Oh.
That was weird.
Okay, how about Ben Affleck? He's done some really good films and some pretty shit films. Or not. I mean, it's obviously.
he stars in Suicide Squad as a cameo, and that was terrible.
Okay.
So I'm going with Suicide Squad.
That's the only scene that I actually like in that film.
Seriously.
When he actually flies in and gets Will Smith dead shot.
I preferred the Flash scene if we're talking
Cameos.
Yeah,
With a
with Captain
Bambaroo.
Boomerang.
Bambaroo.
Yeah, that was not a great film.
No.
But for good performance, I would go like The Accountant.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. I'm with you. I know who Ben Affleck is now.
The Accountant.
Yeah, that's a great film.
Or
Argo.
The Town.
Oh, Gone Girl.
The Town,
Of
yeah.
course, he was in Gone Girl, wasn't he?
Yes,
Yeah.
Gone Girl.
And that's
Absolutely.
a great film.
Gone.
Last one.
Good Will
then.
Hunting.
Good Will Hunting.
That's a good film. I like that one.
Chasing Amy.
Pearl Harbor.
Oh, was he in Pearl Harbor?
That was not a great film.
Michael
Michael
good film.
Bay.
It's a good film.
Bay.
The last one, then. The last one, right? I've got to try and think of his name. Samuel L. Jackson. Mother fudge
Flipper.
cake.
Pulp Fiction.
Yes.
Star Wars Episode 3.
Never seen
Yes. Yeah, Revenge.
Yeah.
Revenge of the Sith.
But
Another
bad
good
film.
it. It's hard to, because I'm trying to think of a bad film because every time he's in a
Snakes
Quentin
on a Plane?
Tarantino one is great. Oh,
It's a
that
good
was
film.
awful, actually, yeah.
That's a good film.
Do you like Snakes on the Plane?
I've never actually seen it.
It's
no.
a stupid film.
It's daft.
I kind of want to watch it because I know it's just meant to be stupid. So
I'll put it under bad, but doesn't mean I can't enjoy it.
For me, its best performance is Hateful Eight.
Yeah.
Like he's
Oh,
so
yeah.
good in that.
Hateful Eight, yeah. Or Pulp Fiction, man.
Yeah, true.
English, motherfucker. Do you speak it? So good.
He is
So
good.
good.
What's that film where the bodyguard, isn't it? Like, he's alright in that.
Oh, Hitman's Bodyguard.
Hitman's Bodyguard.
That's funny
Yeah,
as
that's
hell.
the one.
He's a great guy. We haven't talked about him tonight, so I just thought I'd put him in there.
Yeah, fair.
Sam
I'm
Jackson.
just
Yeah.
trying to think of a bad film he's been in.
I can't. I literally can't.
I mean, there was Iron Man 2, which was not a great film, but I
didn't
wouldn't
mind it, you know.
I wouldn't say it's a bad film. That's the thing.
Any comedies that you like? I was gonna.
Oh shit, Triple X 2 The Next Level.
Oh,
I'm going with that.
yeah.
That was not a good film.
I don't like any of those films. I don't like
No.
many like Vin Diesel films. Like,
Yeah, I'm not a fan of Vin Diesel as an actor, but he's in the new Bloodshot film,
that looks good.
which is based on a series of Vertigo comics.
Yeah.
Which
Is that out yet?
no, not
The
yet.
trailer I saw.
Yeah. There's a couple of trailers out so far, but
Surprisingly decent trailer.
I don't know. Like, it seems to stray from the comic books quite a bit.
Oh, sure.
And even though the trailer looked quite good, I think it gave a lot of the story away.
I feel like those kind of films, they really need to sell you on it because they're
Like,
lower budget ones.
They did the mistake that Batman v Superman made.
And they just revealed the last act.
Yeah, they've basically revealed the whole story, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, Incredibles.
Incredibles, yeah.
Such a good film.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you seen it?
I've not seen The Incredibles. No, do you know what? This is the beauty of this movies list. This is the thing that I love the most about it. Yeah, there's 439 films on there, but like, for example, not all the Harry Potters are on there. Pretty much none of the Star Wars are on there. There's so many things that people keep going, oh, but if you like that, you'll like this. And I watch it and I'm like, whoa. So my advice to anyone in the world right now is, if you love movies or just like them a bit, start a movies list. It'll start a conversation and you're just growing your depth and knowledge of film.
Yeah, I mean,
And then failing that, just listen to this podcast every week, guys, and
Yeah.
you'll be all right there. Like,
yeah.
he's quite good.
You'll soon
This
have a
Josh,
list
he's
growing.
quite good.
Thanks for the little plug there.
You know,
Yeah, I appreciate it.
they're a good little duo. It's funny. Enjoy it.
So I'll give you a little plug, seeing as you've given me one.
That sounds so naughty.
Yeah.
Doesn't it? I'll give you a little plug.
Oh, yeah.
Go on then.
I'll give you a big plug.
Plug me.
Oh, hello. So if you're interested in hip-hop at all, tune into Jorvik Radio 94.8 FM every Friday 10 till 12 a.m. Mr. Young Sceptic over here has his own radio show
Yeah.
in which he discusses all things hip-hop related.
Yeah. It's good fun. And this man, Josh Simpson, then films it. We could literally plug off each other all day. He's good at filming.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, we could plug each
Well,
other all
literally,
day.
I think I love you, Josh. Plug me.
Okay. And JC, anything you want to plug?
Plug the radioactive screen again. Just an extra plug in there. You might as well fit one in, right?
I love you guys.
I
I
love,
love you guys.
love you too. It's all love in the building. Right, well, we're going to go. Not leaving much to the imagination there. No, we're just going to have a cup of coffee and a chill out with lads.
Yes.
Bye.
And we'll do it naked.
It's great being on here, Josh. Thanks for
cheers,
having
man.
us.
Thanks
Thank
for
you.
having us, honestly.
No
Thank you.
worries, guys. It's great to have you. Anytime you want to be on, I'm happy to.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Really
Yeah,
good,
yeah.
really good first
I mean,
time on.
this sofa's pretty comfy, so
Yeah.
we might just not leave and make another 3 of these now, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do
Yeah.
it.
Do a load
Like
of
Fleetwood
Absolutely.
Mac, play it back to back.
Just put a deeper voice on.
Right, let's wrap it up then. Right. Cheers, everyone, for listening. Cheers to you two guys for being here. Hopefully, Sam will be back soon. That's nothing against you guys.
That's fine. We get it. We get it.
Hopefully, Sam will be back because I don't have to deal with these little shits anymore. But no,
Understandable.
really appreciate you guys for coming on the podcast.
It's all right,
And-
mate.
No,
We'll
man,
sort the money
happy
out
to help,
afterwards.
man. Really,
You
really
said
enjoyed
you
it.
mention it.
Sorry.
Yeah, it's been great talking about your list and stuff, even though we didn't really cover it that much.
It's cool. It was nice to have a chat.
Yeah.
So it's nice. And do you know what's nice is the fact that we literally will talk about this for another 2 hours off the podcast now
Yeah.
Yep.
with a few pints.
It's endless talking.
And you
I
think
love
I
it,
won't
man.
be recording it, but I will.
Oh, you can do this, mate.
It's that plug up in, man.
Yeah, it's all in plugs.
Fat butt plug. Right, cheers for tuning in, guys. I'll see you next week.
Cheers. Love
Cheers,
you. Bye.
guys. Enjoy.
Bye.
Bye-bye.